We have all heard the phrase, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. The question is, how do we know what to say? Do we say it this time, or like we said last time, or do we say the wrong thing and always feel like I'm always saying the wrong thing? Whenever we're in this kind of situation, Psalm 141, verse number 3 should come to mind. It says, "Set a guard, O Lord, over my mouth. Keep watch over the door of my lips." Throughout this month, we'll be looking at our mouth. And obviously, what comes out of our mouth is really coming out of our heart. So when David here in Psalm 141, verse 3 is saying, "Set a guard, O Lord," he realizes that this is something that is coming from within. And the mouth is just a reflection of what we are already thinking and what already is in our heart. So many of us might imagine that guard. I think of a guard, I think of the unknown soldier and the Marine standing out there day and night looking at this. But that guard is just there to keep basically everybody out. This is a much more of a security guard, maybe at an airport or another place of business, that he is allowing many things to come in and out, but he is always trying to be aware of what areas or what situations should I not allow to come into the store or through this security gate. And this is the picture and the idea that David is giving us. Lord, set a guard over the decisions that I am making with my words. I might always keep me alert to the evil that is around me. However, David is admitting he is not a good guard. So we ask that God has made our lips the door of the mouth. Therefore, we ask the Lord to take the rule of it. We could pray that the Lord would both open and shut our lips. For we can do neither the one or the other if we just do it ourselves. The second half of the verse is really just the same exact phrase, just say it a little bit different. Keep watch over the door of my lips. Every parent has had to say to their children, I don't want to hear that come out of your mouth. No one has to train a child to say evil or to be mean or to say false things that come out of their mouth or to tattle on somebody else. What we do need as parents is to train them and teach them these are good things. These are wrong things. And those should be based upon the biblical principles of the Bible. And that is a good parent training their child. And this is what David is asking. And even though David wrote 150, the Psalms are filled with many of David's Psalms. And the book of Psalms has 150 Psalms in it. We know that David here is still asking for God's help to know what to say. Many of us think of the verse in Psalm 19 that says, let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, my strength and my Redeemer. So one other phrase or a popular proverb of this, or a piece of wisdom is, before you speak, ask yourself, if what you're going to say is true, is kind, is helpful. If the answer is no, maybe what you're about to say should be left unsaid. As we work over these, what we should say in specific situations where there are words, there are two additional passages that can also help us through this time. Psalm 141, besides Psalm 141:3, it's Psalm 39:1, Psalm 34:13, are two other areas here. And so if David, a man after God's own heart, had to constantly ask God for help in this area, how often should we be crying out to the Lord and asking him for help that we may speak the words of truth and not of sin? May God help us throughout this week.